Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and welcome to another week of Real Estate Talk with Beth. I'm here with Beth Terminella, and each week we talk about real estate here on Bolivar Peninsula. It could be the market, it could be a home for showcasing a home for sale, property for sale, or something that's going on in the real estate market. But it's always about Bolivar, and it's always here on Bolivar Live. In fact, we've got the only real estate show catering towards Bolivar Peninsula that I know of. And so you can tune in here every Monday at 11 a.m. and see what's going on Bolivar through the eyes and the brain of Beth Terminella from 110 Realty Group. You can see it here on our social media channels, and now make sure you go to our YouTube channel, like it, follow it, subscribe to it, because we're going to be bringing you more live feeds and more Bolivar Live shows on YouTube and our new Bolivar Live TV on Roku and Amazon Fire. It's a free download. Go to it, and I just signed the contract yesterday. We're going to have Bolivar Live TV on our website. So if someone doesn't have Roku, Amazon Fire, or they don't like social media, they can go to our website and we'll be able to watch Bolivar Live TV just like they're watching.
Just like it's live?
Just everything that's on the channel will be on there.
Oh.
So we'll be able to, they'll be able to see everything.
I thought it was, so.
No.
Okay.
There's some links, but
okay.
This will be just like a regular channel. But,
I gotta look into
you know,
that.
it's the 1st of March, and a lot of things have changed over the last couple months. And so today's show, we're going to talk about the market and what happened to it from December, January maybe.
We're going to compare it from January, and we're going to use my eyes and my brain so you can see that.
And
actually,
she made these great graphics and everything. So let's get started on the market
and before
report.
we go to that, I just want to say that I get my information from the Houston Association of Realtors, MLS.
Okay.
So that's where I get that from. So it's not just my eyes and my brain.
Is this just for this area down here, or is it all?
I only I do a map and include only Bolivar.
So this is strictly what's going on Bolivar. Nothing to do with Beaumont or Houston or Galveston.
And this is an average. So I'm taking everything from the beach to the bay, from the turn to the ferry landing.
Okay.
Right. So it is just Bolivar Peninsula, and it's everything.
And it's an average of everything that's going on.
Everything that's going on. So, you know, houses prices change from the beach all the way to the bay. So don't take this as, well, that's what my house is worth. If you want an actual number of what you think, of what I would think the house is worth, which is my brain and my eyes, then we need to sit down and do a market analysis on it.
And that's something, she just said market analysis, and that's something that, you know, she's real strong in, and all realtors should do it.
Right,
I don't know if they do, but I know Beth and them do. When you call her and say, hey, I'm looking for a house, you're going to look at and make sure that person's paying what that house is worth.
Absolutely.
But if you're going to sell a house for someone, you're going to do a market analysis to see exactly what that house should be.
Right, and we're going to touch on that at the end of this video, but when you are selling your house, you know, I'm going to make suggestions. That may not always be what the seller wants, and that may not always be what we list it for, but I'm going to make a suggestion on what the market is.
Right, because we've seen some homes here over the last month and a half that went for a whole lot less than what they were asking.
And so, okay, let's go ahead and touch on that. So I was talking to David a couple of weeks ago. That was like last week, I think, actually. And I said, you'll never believe this. I just saw 2 houses close that were listed $250,000 more than what they sold for. And they were on the market for a long time. So that's why it's important to watch what's actually going on in the market, because you sat on the market, you've been paying your mortgage, or if you don't have a mortgage, good for you, but you pay taxes, you could have already had that thing sold, and maybe even at a higher price than what it actually sold for.
I've always said that there's people down here that put homes up for sale looking for that one person, especially in the spring, because now we're coming into the season and someone's been telling their wife, oh, we'll buy a beach house next year. Oh, we'll buy a beach house. Well, she finally says, we're buying one now. And they come down here, and that homeowner's praying
that's that one buyer.
That's that one buyer, and she says, I want this house now, and he buys it for her just so she's happy.
Right.
You know, but did they really pay
market value?
Market value. And so let's get into the market report for February, and it'll be compared to January.
Okay, so this is the average sales price for February. The average sales price came down from January 2023, right? 15%, and that average sales price is $469,000.
Now, you said earlier, beachfront is going to be more, 7 rows back is going to be less. So this is an average of all the homes that sold.
Right. So, and like I said, this is 15% down than what it was in January.
Okay.
Okay.
How much different? Yeah, I'm wondering how many beachfronts. Because, you know, a couple beachfronts, we talked about.
It will make those numbers go up.
A lot, because we did an analysis where a beachfront was selling at 1.1, 1.2, but you could go.
Gosh, I should have added that in here.
4 rows back, and you could save $100,000.
I'm going to have to add that next month.
And so that's what I was getting at is maybe we didn't have as many beachfront sell, and that $500,000 could really make a difference.
You know what's hitting as solds right now? It's the houses at Rollover Bay. And all of those houses around that $380,000, $400,000 price range.
Yeah.
So that's what's really probably driving that number.
Yeah. Okay.
So these average sold price per foot only came down 6%. 6%. Thank you for being able to read that. My brain, my eyes, all that good. And it came down. So that number from, let's see, it's $367
a square foot is what the average was.
Right, and that's down from January.
Right, okay.
So the number of houses on the market, however, is up 16%.
From January.
From January.
Okay.
Which means if you're a seller and you're trying to compete with there's more houses on the market, which, you know, you don't want that as a seller, but as a buyer, you want that.
Right.
There are 195 houses on the market right now.
That's more than we've had in as long as I mean, for the last 2 years.
For the last 2 years, absolutely. Yeah. So as a buyer, you have choices. And you asked me about some people that I was showing houses to last week. And I said, well, you know, they haven't made a decision yet. You're like, well, why did they even look? Well, you know what?
They're in the market.
They're
watching.
They're watching the market, and there's so many choices to choose from. So as a seller, you have to make your house better than 195.
That's right.
The average price per foot for active homes did come down though, 2%.
0.2%.
0.2%. Thank you for being able to read that. So that number is $397 per foot. So that tells me that we are watching the market and we are coming down some.
Okay.
Which, as a buyer, you need to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I?
There we go.
We have currently 13 months of inventory. And
how long have we been arguing about this?
No, I never argue. I did say
argue.
I was just looking at actual numbers, which is what I do. And you've been saying, well, we've been in a buyer's market forever. Well, until the numbers show it, I can't say it. Right. But a balanced market is going to be around that 6-month inventory. We are in a buyer's market, folks.
Well, what I was saying is I saw a realtor make a comment about make an offer.
Oh.
And that's what started it was I said.
I think that's my comment.
No.
Make the offer, folks.
Well, this was someone else because this was, 6 months ago or 8 months ago. But I said, oh, we're in a buyer's market. And I do it sometimes just to
get on my nerves.
Get on her. So
but,
anyway.
David, go ahead and say it.
What?
We're in a buyer's market.
We're in a buyer's market.
We are in a buyer's market.
We are officially in, by numbers, a buyer's market.
Right, and we went into a buyer's market last month.
Right.
Yeah. The average number of days that houses are staying on the market before they close is 75, and that's down from last month. So that's.
But remember a year ago?
Oh gosh, 30.
And not even 30. I mean, you had some houses that you put on MLS.
I didn't put them on MLS.
You know, and it was sold.
Right.
And so some houses in 24 hours had a contract because people were buying them because there were only 15 or 20 maybe houses on the market.
It was a
at the
feeding
time.
frenzy out there.
And so it went crazy.
Yeah,
But,
so
okay.
buyers have time. We had 14
14?
houses that went under contract last month.
Is that good or?
It's up from January. I think January we had 12.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good. That means more people are buying.
Yes, but
And
we have
it's
195 houses on the market.
on the market. Yeah.
And I think is that it? Oh,
No.
no. Okay, so I wanted to show,
This gets into the pricing.
right, and the importance of it. So if you're a seller and you are thinking, well, my house is better than everybody else's, and you're not looking at the market, what the actual market is doing, and you say, I'm going to price it higher, then you are only attracting 10% of those buyers. And if you are up what the market value is on 10%, then you're only attracting 30% of those buyers. However, if you come in strong and competitive at that market value, you are
over
attracting
half the buyers.
Yeah, which is where you want to be. And
Yeah.
you know, if you really want to be aggressive, then come in lower and get all the
10%,
buyers.
yeah.
So I think that's an important graph for sellers to look at, and you know, buyers that really, you know, it's a buyer's market. They're in control. But a seller, that's important.
Well, and it depends on how fast people want to get rid of a house.
Right, absolutely.
if
It
they're
depends
not
on
really
how
in a big
aggressive you are.
hurry.
Sure. And down here, you know, it's a second home that a lot of people don't have to sell.
Right.
But if you do need to sell, it's important to watch those
Right.
numbers. And this is just, you know, the market value. And the market value is determined exactly the same way as anything else. It's what the buyer's willing to pay for it. So we are trying to find that happy medium right now because, you know, we're looking at numbers of solds from a market that was very high, and we're trying to find that
happy medium now.
Where the buyer is.
And that was one of my questions was, when you go in, someone's on the third row, and correct me if I'm wrong, you'll go in and look at homes that sold with about the same square footage, the same maybe age of the home and location, and that's how all the realtors come up with
the asking price.
the asking price.
Well, we suggest the
Right.
asking price. It's ultimately up to the seller, and it's their choice on how they want to market it. And I look at square footage, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, if they've done any updates to it, the year it was built, how big the lot is, if you got a view, if you have a buyout lot in front of you. There's a lot of factors that go into it. It's not easy to do a market analysis.
It's not something you do real quick.
No, and it's not a cookie cutter area. So unless, you know, I guess Rollover Bay now would be more cookie cutter, but we don't have that. So it's not an easy task. You have to drill into each house.
But we are working with a developer down here.
Yes.
Jason. And, you know, the condos over there at
The Pearl of East Marsh,
the
yes.
Pearl of East Marsh, and they're starting the bulkheads underway. In fact, they're driving the sheathing in and stuff. But that's what, whenever I was talking to Jason the other week, and I watched Channel 12, I think, did a show on it. You know, when you're looking at a condo in Galveston that may be on the bay, and you and I talked about some apartments over there, what they were going for.
Yes, we did,
But here's an instance. Those over here are going to be priced a little under $600,000.
650, $599 and
Depending on the
$649.
size of it.
Depending on
Yeah.
the size, yeah.
But if you had that condo, and it's not where you can park your boat in front of it, but if you have a condo similar to that over in Galveston, could be.
There's nothing really right now comparable
On the
in
bay?
Galveston. There's no new construction over there.
Okay.
So you would have to go to something, I think they're like 1990s. So
But they're still selling.
it's hard.
They're still selling for what, like 1 point? Are those the ones that I saw that were selling for 1.2 or 1.1?
I didn't know. There is a
Or am
high
I-
rise that's
Okay.
selling for 1 point.
But it's
Those
not on the
parts.
water.
Oh yeah, those were on the
Those
water.
are on the water. Okay.
Yeah, that's Bayside on the water. They have a lot of amenities. We don't have the same amenities, but we have some great amenities over there. The view is going to be great.
It's unbelievable.
I mean,
I'm
it's something
excited
we've never
about that.
seen here. And we've had appraisers do an appraisal on these already.
Have
and
you?
So we're good on pricing.
Good. And your big billboard just went up over there. So if
My
you go
face
to
is not
Stingray,
that big on it.
You can see it, but the phone number is. That's all I was worried about was the phone number. So let's hit the next slide. We got one more.
I think that's it. I think that's the end
Okay.
of our show.
Well, every month we're going to do an analysis, hopefully in the first show, if not the second show, and it may be in conjunction with a home we're showing. But every month we're going to cover the previous month's market so that you can sort of make plans if you're thinking about selling, if you're thinking about buying, if you're wanting to get into the short-term rental. In fact, you did a Zoom deal.
I did a webinar on short-term rental.
on
I'm going to do another one of
rentals.
those too.
And so several people, you had a good sign up.
We had a good sign up, and my suggestion would be to a buyer, make the offer.
Yeah.
That's what I keep saying, make the offer, because if you can get that offer in and it's $250,000 less than what the list price is, you just never know.
Yeah. So once again, we do these shows every Monday at 11 o'clock where we're always talking real estate here on Bolivar Peninsula. It's always with Beth Terminella from 110. We've been over a year now.
Over a year
now. So I look forward to them if I can just get here a little bit earlier to record.
Be quiet.
So anyway, we're going to head on out. Remember, you can see these shows on our social media channels and go to YouTube, follow us, subscribe to us. Give Beth a call. You can get her.
214-801-9801. You can go to my website, WeSellCrystalBeach.com, and see me diagonal from the big store. I got a big old sign out
with
there.
a big face on it.
Yeah.
Big face on it. So we're going to head on out. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back next week with another show, Real Estate Talk with Beth, where we're talking real estate on Bolivar Peninsula. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live with Beth Terminella from 110 Realty Group. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless. And bye-bye. 110 Realty Group on Bolivar Peninsula, located in Crystal Beach, Texas, believes finding the perfect home or property is a necessity for every client. That it's crucial to provide relevant, up-to-date information on the market, properties, and homes for sale to each and every seller or buyer. Keeping up with the market in today's world is how 110 Realty Group exceeds expectations for their clients. 110 Realty Group in Crystal Beach, Texas are your real estate sales professionals, both in beach home sales and property sales. Finding the perfect custom home on Bolivar Peninsula is a specialty of Beth Terminella and Leslie Armstrong. Keeping up with the daily changes and available homes, properties, and the changing market makes 110 Realty Group the choice for several custom builders for spec homes and investors looking for short-term rentals, along with home buyers looking for that perfect beach house for their family. 110 Realty Group for all your real estate needs on Bolivar Peninsula, in Galveston County, and across Texas.